Hi, this is Steve Merril, wagertalk.com, right back here on Wager Talk TV with a weekend video for you for Major League Baseball. Some thoughts, some angles, some odds that are just a bit outside for making the mainstream cut this week on the weekly shows. I'm going to give you a little bonus content here for the weekend. Going to look at some teams after the trade deadline, which passed this past Tuesday. Obviously, some teams on the move as we head towards the playoffs. Want to talk about that new playoff format. It's different, unlike any years past in Major League Baseball. I want to make sure you understand how the playoffs are going to work because it does affect how we handicap some of these games going forward. Also, take a look at those postseason odds and the division odds because, once again, with this new format, winning the division is very important. Before we do so, though, I want to let you know I have been red hot in baseball this week. Week after the All-Star break, we came out red hot, had a couple bad nights in where we had like ninth inning losses last week, but then we bounced back strong. In fact, the month of August has been just fantastic. In fact, I didn't wait till August. I got it started Sunday night, July 31st with a nice winner last Sunday. Went on to win 7 straight games. Overall, we've now won 7 of our last 8 plays in Major League Baseball going back to the last day of July. So it's been a fantastic start to August. NFL preseason football started on Thursday night. Full week of NFL preseason next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a game on Sunday. But don't forget about baseball. I know football's around the corner. Everyone's getting excited. But this month of August is about baseball. That's where the money is going to be made on a daily basis. And I want all of you to build that bankroll as we head towards football. So I've got a very special 7-day baseball special. One day of service is normally $39 at wagertalk.com. I'm going to give you an additional 6 days of baseball for just $10 more. It's a no-brainer. I made it too good to pass up. 7 days of MLB for just $49, but you must have promo code MOUND7, just like a pitching mound, MOUND, MOUND7. Get you 7 days of baseball for just $49. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. All right, let's look at first some big movers after the trade deadline. We all knew that the Juan Soto move was going to be the biggest one to move the needle for teams after the trade deadline, and it came around noon Eastern last Tuesday, right about 6 hours before that deadline on Tuesday night, and he's going to the Padres. For the past couple of weeks, or at least around the All-Star break, the Mets were 4-1, Yankees were 5-1, Cardinals, Padres, Giants, a lot of other teams around that 7-1 range, and he did end up with the San Diego Padres. Josh Bell, the number 3 hitter, has probably been their other great hitter this year, also in that package. I knew Bell was going somewhere. I was pretty sure Soto was going. Didn't necessarily think they're going to the same team. So obviously a monster pickup by the San Diego Padres, getting both Juan Soto and Josh Bell. I still think the Padres pitching is going to be a little suspect come postseason. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to get them all the way to the title. But San Diego definitely strengthened their chances of winning that wild card round. And I want to touch on how this playoff format is going to work because the Padres are an interesting team to talk about. Look, I'm doing this video on Friday as we head into the weekend, right? The Padres currently heading into Friday night are 12 and a half games behind the Dodgers, who have the best record in the National League. Padres are 2.5 games up for the wild card. They should continue to get better. So I think they're going to pull away with that wild card. They're a stronger offensive team, obviously, here for the next 2 months, but they're not going to catch the Dodgers 12 and a half games behind. So the Padres are going to be a wild card team. There's an extra wild card this year. For the first time ever, we have 3 wild cards and 3 division winners. That means 6 teams from each league makes the playoffs, 12 teams overall. It used to be just 5 from each league. We'd have that one and done wild card, which I really didn't like. You play 162 games. I don't like it coming down to just 163, game number 163 to make a postseason push. So now it's going to be a best of series. However, the better record gets home field for all 3 games. So the Padres are looking pretty good in that wild card spot. They're most likely going to finish, in my opinion, with, if not the second best, the first best wild card. The first best wild card is going to probably be in that National League East. The Mets got the win on Thursday night, and they have 3 more games this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Braves at home. Mets now 4.5 games ahead of Atlanta. If they can win 2 of these 3 this weekend, they do have another set coming up soon, but they're going to definitely be starting to pull away in that NL East. And don't forget, they got Jacob deGrom back this past Tuesday. He'd thrown in the minors. They lost 5-1 as a huge favorite to the Nationals. Right after the Nationals unload Bell and Soto, they come out and win as almost a 3-1 underdog against the Mets. And you might think, well, deGrom was rusty. He wasn't, though. He pitched extremely well. It gave up only 3 hits in 5 innings, only 1 earned run. That's not why they lost. So deGrom looked good in his comeback. They've got Scherzer still. Don't forget, they won on Monday night in Washington with Scherzer 7-3. And this is a team with that pitching rotation intact, I think probably does win this division if they can pick up a few more games this weekend against Atlanta. The Braves right now, though, are 3 games ahead of the Padres for the best wild card record. So most likely New York or Atlanta will be the top wild card. San Diego will be the second. And the reason this is interesting is because the 2 wild card teams play each other That means the Padres are going to play either the Mets or Braves in a 3-game set just to get to the divisional round. So, really is important in the National League East, in my opinion, to win that division because not only do you not avoid playing a 3-game set against the Padres, but you also get a bye. The top two division winners, which are going to be the Dodgers and the NL East most likely, get a bye to the divisional round, to that best of 7 round. Whereas the 3 wild cards and the lowest division winner, which looks like it's going to be the National League Central, Brewers Cardinals, who are tied right now as we head into Friday night, are going to have to play that extra 3-game set. So this Mets Braves series huge this weekend, obviously, not just for daily bettors, but also for big picture playoffs and for future bettors. I still think the Mets with DeGrom and Scherzer are worth a look on some of your NL, National League, and World Series futures, just due to the fact they're going to be so tough in any 7-game series with Scherzer and DeGrom going at least 4 of those 7 games. Brewers are a team I mentioned last year. Milwaukee, once again, Woodruff and Burns, very difficult as well. The problem is Milwaukee right now is tied for the division/wild card, and either way, they're going to probably have to play that 3-game set because the NL Central is not going to get the first round bye as one of the top 2 divisions. So I think the Brewers and Mets are 2 sleepers for the well, Mets aren't really a sleeper, but I think they have the 2 best pitching staffs for a 7-game series with Burns, Woodruff, DeGrom, Scherzer. Just hard to back Milwaukee right now as they might not even get to that divisional round. If the Mets pull away this weekend from Atlanta, take a look at them on some NL futures or maybe a World Series future as well. We'll pull those up for you as we head into Friday afternoon. Mets are around 6.5 to 1 at a lot of locations. Obviously, these odds are going to vary. FanDuel only has 5 to 1. One of the offshores has 6.5 to 1. So shop around. You usually get kind of a big house edge on these futures, but some spots do have better prices than others. Dodgers and Mets look like they have a pretty good road right now to that divisional round. American League, we'll quickly look at that situation there. Obviously, the Yankees have pulled away since May, basically. They're 10.5 heading into Friday night over the Blue Jays in that American League East. Blue Jays are now 3 wild card games up over everybody else. Astros 11.5 head of Seattle. That's the only team that could even catch them in the West. So right now, it's almost a done deal that it's going to be the Yankees and Astros getting the first round bye. So it's competitive, and as many teams make the playoffs now, Dodgers, Yankees, and Astros pretty much locked into the first round bye, in my opinion. And the winner of the NL East, either the Mets or Braves, are locked in, and the Mets are starting to pull away. We'll see what happens this weekend. So Yankees and Astros are going to get a bye, right? That means the AL Central, just like the NL Central, is going to have to play that extra game, even as a division winner. Twins only 1 game ahead of Brian Leonard's Cleveland Guardians and only 2 ahead of the Chicago White Sox. So that division is wide open. I think it's very difficult to make any future plays there. Obviously, you're not getting much value with the Astros or the Yankees. And I think the Blue Jays, although they're going to make that divisional round, I'm not big on them as far as a long-term or the wild card round, whether I'm not a big fan of them future-wise. This is a team that's still really had an advantage at home this year because a lot of players can't play in Toronto because of the vaccine mandate. And that is shown with the home road records. You know, you look at the difference between Toronto at home and away heading into this Friday night, this weekend. Toronto 13 games up at home and 500, just dead even on the road this year. And the Blue Jays also 6 games below 500 against winning teams. And that is something I'd like to start to look at as we get closer to the playoffs, because obviously when you make the playoffs, you're playing a winning team. Toronto is a team that's beaten up on teams at home, a lot of times shorthanded teams. Cardinals, for example, didn't have NL favorite MVP Goldschmidt a few weeks ago. Royals were without 10 players a couple weeks ago when they had to cross the border. Toronto also 6 games below overall against 500 teams. So not a believer in the Blue Jays. I do think the Rays, who are tied right now for the last wildcard spot, Tampa could be a dangerous team if they get healthy, but they're also 3 games below 500 against winning teams. The Orioles were actually a seller at the trade deadline. I don't think they've given up, but I think they realize that realistically they're not going to make a postseason push. And the Red Sox are behind all of them right now. Seattle, half a game up in the wild card. They're not going to win that division, though. So it really looks like if you're going to play a future, the Yankees and the Astros are the only way to go. But of course, the odds makers aren't sleeping there. Yankees below 3.5 to 1, Astros around 5 to 1 to win the overall titles. So you're not getting much value there. I still think the Mets, if they pull ahead this weekend, could be worth a look on the future odds. And if you really want to take a shot, if you think Milwaukee can win the division or at least get by that wild card round, you're getting them at 28 to 1 right now. Once again, with Burns and Woodruff going out in a 4 out of 7 situation. Brewers at 28 to 1 is an interesting proposition, but they got a tough road ahead of them. By the way, on the surface, I think the Dodgers are the best overall team. I haven't talked much about them because there's not a lot of value there. But the Dodgers, I think, even though they maybe haven't had the best record all year, by the way, they are closing in on the Yankees. You look at win percentage, Yankees 660, Dodgers 686. So the Dodgers are theoretically the best team in baseball right now, and I think they continue to pull away down the stretch. They're just loaded top to bottom. They have good enough pitching and just too much offense, I think. My pick to win this whole thing is going to be the Dodgers or Mets. So if you're looking at some future picks, maybe a little bit of value there, although the odds don't really reflect it. Quick thoughts here as we head out down the stretch. Don't forget baseball 7 days for $49. Once again, 7 days, $49. Promo code MOUND7. 1 day of all sports is normally $39. For additional $10, you're getting 6 additional days of baseball. 7 days of MLB for just $49. MOUND7, Mound7. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. Some quick hitters on the way out as we head into the weekend. I've talked about this a lot, one-run games. Well, the Texas Rangers finally won a run-one game the other night. They're now 6-23 in games decided by one run, so we'll keep an eye to see if they get back to anywhere near normal. In fact, if you look at all the other teams in the American League, the only other teams that are even close to that bad are the Angels, who are 6-18, and the A's, who are 9-17, all in that same division. Those are one-run games. But once again, the Rangers actually have a upper half bullpen, so it's really strange that they're 6-23. It's something we'll continue to keep an eye on. National League one-run games, nothing jumps out at me too much here. Cubs 13-20, Arizona 13-20, Padres 20-10. Padres have actually been the most beneficial one-run team this year, and obviously now with Soto and Bell in the lineup, I think that'll probably continue. So keep an eye on the Rangers. So 6-23 mark. I still think there's some upside. And just teams in general, as I mentioned, the Orioles were sellers, but they still have a youth movement. Really bad Detroit, Kansas City teams this year. They're playing some youthful players the next month. Not necessarily in August, but in September, big dogs are often worth a look because the youth movement often helps those slumping teams play hard. And teams that have a huge lead, such as the Astros, the Yankees, and maybe the Dodgers, when they have a double-digit lead, are going to start sitting guys. I turned on the Giants game against the Dodgers the other night. They had 2 or 3 guys in the bottom of the lineup that have barely never played in Major League. One guy, in fact, making his debut, but they're still great players. 2 RBIs in his first 2 at-bats. So the youthful guys sometimes play really well for these teams. Keep an eye on that over these next few weeks in August, and definitely in September is when the rosters expand heading into the playoff season. Hope you found this information useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the MLB futures. Who do you like for the NL AL pennant, the World Series? And let me know your thoughts also on the new playoff format. I like it. You play 162 games. I think more teams need to make the playoffs, right? Hockey and NBA, they play half as many games. They have twice as many teams in the playoffs. So I like the new format. I like the best of 3 instead of a one and done for the wild card round. And I like rewarding the top 2 division winners with the bye. So I like this new format. Let me know your thoughts as well. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so. We're so close to 100,000 here on Wager Talk TV. Hit the bell also for instant alerts when I do these weekend videos. You'll get an instant alert. And don't forget, 1 month from now, we will have the NFL Fade the Public video along with my college football top 25 videos each Saturday and Sunday here on this channel. That's reason enough right there to hit the bell so you can be the first to act on that Fade the NFL public information that I know you love here on Wager Talk TV. One final reminder, the Wager Talk TV app is available now for download in all of your favorite app stores for all your favorite mobile devices. You can watch this video, all other shows here on demand when you'd like on your mobile devices on the go with the Wager Talk TV app. Do us a favor, download it and leave a quick review. It goes a long way to help building this network so we can have more free content for you on a daily basis. So download the Wager Talk TV app right now and leave us a quick review. We appreciate the support as always. And check back this week. Wager Talk today, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. I'll be guest hosting on both Monday and Tuesday for the Prez, along with Teddy Covers, and also MLB First Pitch, Monday through Friday here on the channel around 1:50 Eastern each day. Archived 24/7 as well for your viewing pleasure right here on YouTube and, of course, on the Wager Talk TV app. Best of luck this weekend. I'll talk to you again on Monday.